Hello, everyone.
Hey there.
So for those of you who haven't used Zoom meeting before, I am one of them, but I've been doing some crash coursing. You come in muted. So if you need to speak, at the bottom left of your Zoom window has a little microphone. You click on that, that'll unmute it. And then when you speak, we can all hear you. If you're just going to listen, I would suggest you put it back on mute. That way, in case something happens or you say something or something in the background goes on, no one else hears that. So how's everybody doing?
Doing well, thanks.
Good. Who's all here with us? I see Mr. McCoy, a couple people, Jeff.
Mike Warren.
Mike Warren. We're going to give a few more minutes in case some other people want to come in. If you want to turn your video on, several of you, your video is off. That is also at the bottom left next to the microphone. You would click on that to start video, and then I can see you. You can see us. You should be able to have a speaker view and a grid view, however you want to view it. There you go, Steve. Jeff, you're gone when I announced you start on mute. So if you want to unmute yourself at the bottom left corner, you're going to hit the little microphone icon, and that will unmute you. I was going to wear my AOS attire. Sorry, I forgot. So it's just 7:30 now. We're going to give a few more minutes. Does anyone have anything they want to share that they saw over the last couple weeks, a situation you want to talk about? Otherwise, I got plenty of videos.
I came for the video.
Excellent. And I apologize for any of the bumps and niches along the way, because again, this is my first go around. So
you might want to give me headphones if that's going to bother you.
All right, so we've got 6 of you. Your video is off. You do not have to have your video on. I just want you to be aware that if you want your video and your face to be shown so everyone can see you, you've got to go to the bottom left corner and click on Start.
I don't want to see me.
But by all means, don't feel like you have to. And same with if you want to say something, you have to turn on and off your microphone in the bottom left corner. Pretty easy, I think. How many here have used Zoom meeting before? I see one hand.
No.
I think some, I would say at least half of the officials are technologically
I don't want to bother you.
not inclined the other way. Yes, Steve. Steve.
No, I was just raising my hand in agreement that I've used Zoom.
Excellent. See, I don't know how all this stuff works yet, so that's great. Or you can chat. Yes, Jeff. Jeff McCoy says you can chat if you want to. All right, let's get started. We want to watch some videos. What do you guys want to see first? Some traveling?
Yes.
This is my favorite. I even got some that I got wrong. I have about 6 or 7 games that I've pulled so far, and lots and lots of clips from those games.
Is that your music in the background?
All right. See if I can remember how to do this.
Thanks, Dad. What's his name? Dad.
Everyone see that?
Yes.
Building a better bank starts with looking at something old and saying,
All right.
really? So Capital One is
Here goes the first video.
completely new. Capital One Cafe. Inviting places with people here to help you, not sell you. The savings.
Hey, did we see that?
No fees or
I want to do it again in full time again.
right here.
Is the video working for everybody?
Seriously.
Yes.
This is banking reimagined. What's in your wallet?
So do we see what he did?
He pivoted.
He pivoted, but watch it in slow motion. When I watched it in slow motion, I'm wondering if this wasn't a travel. He has the ball. Let me back up real quick. Right? So he's dribbling the ball, picks it up, and jumps off this foot. Correct?
One of my most fun
Go back.
memories was we started a few years ago hiding the pickle.
Jumps off
Like a little Christmas ornament. that
this foot here, his right foot,
a little ornament. It's shiny green. So whoever
jumps
finds
onto
it,
his left, and his left foot is what?
Pivot.
The left foot is his non-pivot foot. So we're still legal, right? And then he jumps off that non-pivot foot, and before he comes down, he passes the ball.
These 5 young men
So did he travel?
chose their band name because it's the nickname for their whole
Play it all again.
This is their first appearance on CMA Country.
It looks weird.
Please welcome Old
It looks like he hopped on one foot, but he passed the ball off before his pivot foot came back down, or his non-pivot foot. Does everybody see that?
Yes.
Yes.
Do we agree or not agree?
It looked like a travel to me.
Still looked like a travel. I agree, it looks like one in fast motion. Pivot foot, non-pivot foot, pass, and then he comes down.
It looks like
You
his
think he
left
can-
foot was initially the pivot foot.
You think the other foot was, let's see,
His left foot, when he picks up the dribble,
let's see.
his left foot's still on the ground.
All right, I
He
can go
goes
with that.
right foot, and then he goes back to the
All
left
right, I
foot.
can go with that. See that? So I was right all along.
Yes.
Nobody said anything about it because it looked like a travel.
It was a travel.
All right, so if the first foot is his pivot foot, I agree, travel. All right. This is one that bugs me. How many of you guys have seen this one this season so far? I call that the shooter's hop. But is it legal? Pivot foot, jumps off the pivot foot, comes down. Now, technically, when he's holding the ball, he's not considered moving anymore. Do we allow that or do we not?
Technically a travel.
Technically a travel. Do we call it or don't we?
We do. We got to be consistent. That's the hard part.
That is the hard part. And this is a little one, right?
Yes.
That's a little one. It's actually very common. I don't know. We passed on it. Anyone else have an opinion?
Christmas songs of all time.
Josh, I'd pass on it too.
Please welcome.
So that's a little one. We'll pass on that one. I would tend to agree. No real advantage except maybe he got his footing reestablished, right? See if I have another hop. I don't think I have another hop. How about this one? Travel or no travel?
No travel.
No travel.
Let's watch it again. Is he fumbling the ball or does he have control of the ball? That's the
No
question.
control.
If he's fumbling the ball, no travel. But if he has control of the ball, didn't he come up and come down? His own player ran into him, caused him to go back a step or two. I think he's fumbling the ball.
I don't think it's a travel. I don't think it's a travel.
Anyone think it is a travel?
No.
All right, one more traveling, and then we'll do some block charge. This is a good one. Just hold on. I'm going to play it again. There's no whistle on this play, just so you know. In real time, there's no whistle on this play. You see what happened? Here's slow motion, and then I break it down. What do we have so far? Did everybody see the travel?
Walking all over the place.
There's his pivot foot. So they just traveled once because he was holding the ball. Okay, we established a pivot foot. There he traveled again. They're little steps. And that's one that we get wrong a lot, I think, when they shuffle those feet before they put the ball down. You guys want to see it again, or did you have it?
Got it.
Here's the same one. Let's see if I can find it. Here's one that we did get. This kid just didn't care about his feet. Now my question to you all is, would you call that or pass on it? Did he have a big advantage by shuffling his feet like that? Would you pass because it really had nothing to do with the game? Or to preserve the integrity of the pivot foot, do you call that? Do you wait for the beginning of the game, end of the game, tight game, loose game? Any situations where you would or would not pass? Anyone?
I think you call it early on.
If you get it early, it'll help clean it up.
That, and you're probably going to have a coach right behind you who's going to be screaming and yelling that it's travel, which it is.
This travel was called with about 5 seconds to start the game. And that's kind of like, that was me, if you can't tell. That's why I called it, because I thought, if you call it now, he's going to be a little more careful about his feet.
Agreed.
Hopefully. All right, I'm going to play this. You guys tell me what you see. If you have anything or nothing.
Nothing.
Anything?
I let it go. He thinks the player's underneath him. He's being safe.
Everyone agree, or does anyone disagree? What's that, Jeff?
The defensive player is close enough that you could say that he was preventing a ball.
You think he's preventing himself
Yeah.
by pulling his legs up above his chin?
Well, he didn't do a chin-up, though. I know.
That is true. Did not. To me, this is a technical foul all day. If he sees that player, okay, I even give him up to that. Oh, I see him, but he pulled him all the way up there.
Yeah. Okay.
I think that's showboating. That's me personally. I mean, there's nobody around him. Yeah, that guy's there.
But
Obviously,
I think
You hit all game. It's 59-67, so you know a lot more.
Just got easier.
In the initial play, it looks like he's protecting himself just from an initial first blush thought.
Well, there was no whistle in this game. This wasn't my game, but so they passed on it. And like you said, it was
At Bob's, you never have to wait for some
the game was over.
Give you the same untouchable
Fourth
prices
quarter,
every
42
day of the
seconds.
year. Like this
Hey,
dream
so
sectional sofa.
I
Stylish
understand.
and supremely comfortable. It's
Does it make any difference if you get it or don't get it?
every day.
I don't know. I think it was unnecessary. That's a good time to get it because it's not going to affect the game. Teach the kid a lesson now.
Hurt a bit. Do you smell mahogany?
All right.
Bob's Discount Furniture.
Nobody tell
You ready
Bob.
for another one? Just checking here. Hold on.
Hey, Josh, can somebody turn off their TV set there?
We got a lot of noise in the background, so either shut off whatever behind you. Everyone check if you've got noise in your room, or mute your microphone in the bottom left corner. Please. Oh, that's a technical. Let's do this.
Okay, clients are coming in. Tuck in your shirt.
What do we see there?
New handcrafted medium cappuccinos and lattes for $2 from 2 to 6 p.m.
What do we got?
The referee didn't look off ball.
So this official didn't get this play here. This official doesn't look like he's even looking in the area. And I can't see where the lead is. But somebody's got to get this, right? I mean, this looks,
That's bad.
that looks like he intentionally ran into the guy.
Mhm.
Now, I don't know if I would suggest calling an intentional foul, but I think his intent was, I'm going to hit this guy. Look, 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 look. There's no way he did not see him to avoid him, correct? Do we agree with that?
Yeah.
So my question on this play is, whose call should that be? Primarily, whose call? If you go back to the beginning, you see the ball is being handed in at a throw-in. So your lead is all the way on the end line, and it takes 1, 2, 3 seconds before that foul happens. Can you guys run up the court in 3 seconds? You got to run pretty fast to get up there to get there, right? So I think the lead's going to need some help. What do you guys are the lead? The trail. The trail's got to have some help on that. Now, I think the trail should have expanded his view down court a bit to get that. But the center can come in and get that. Yes?
Any official can get that.
What's that, Jeff?
Any official can get that. That's pretty egregious, I think.
It's pretty blatant.
Yeah.
Now,
There's some of that acting.
what's that?
Some of that acting by 22.
One more time, I'm sorry.
Was 22 acting? He looked like he fell pretty easily.
Okay, now, I showed this to somebody, and they said that 22 sought him out slightly. And I can't tell, I'll show it again, if he stuck his elbow out, maybe stuck his elbow out a little. Maybe he stuck his elbow out a little, right? But I don't know. I don't see much acting there. And to me, the telltale hands go up. I didn't do nothing, right? I don't know. That's a tough play.
22 sprints down, turns around, and stands there. He's ready to take it, and he's ready to collapse.
Okay,
We
but
have the benefit of watching the whole thing on video. I don't think the other official did.
And this came out from nowhere. The game was under control. It's not like there was something to see.
Got to be a whistle there somewhere, Josh.
So anyway, we got to get those. All right. You guys want to see some block charge?
Yes.
I got lots of block charge. A lot of blocks that should be charges, vice versa. I'm going to find a good one here. That's a little one. Cleared him out. I think there's a little bit of acting there, but he cleared him out. Block, charge, or nothing?
Nothing.
Nothing.
That's
He
good.
went straight up.
That's good verticality, right?
Yes, he went straight up. No call.
Just because he was in the air and there was contact. I agree. Okay, we got a foul on this one. What do you think? Anyone?
Looks like the two officials had different calls. The lead has verticality.
Yeah, I'm going no foul on that one.
It looks like he's jumping pretty straight up. He gets hit a little, so his arm.
Yeah, offensive player jumps into him.
Yeah,
Yes.
I agree. That's what-
Offense initiates contact.
Looks like Mr. Hodel has a foul there, Josh.
I don't know who that is. That might look like Hodel. I don't know if it is.
Okay.
That's where we've got to get better at verticality. We need to know whether they jump. What do they say in NCAA? I know this is high school, but if they jump from point A and land on point B, probably a foul, right?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
In terms of, okay, you talked about legal guarding position on the floor, but
Yep.
is there such a thing as legal guarding position like what just happened?
All right. So how do you establish legal guarding position?
You have to shoulders and legs going forward.
Okay. There are
In
two.
front of the man.
There are 2 points to establishing legal guarding position. 2 feet on the floor. Do we have 2 feet on the floor?
Yes, and facing the opponent.
Facing the opponent. That's the only 2 things that you need to do to establish a legal guarding position. Once you establish a legal guarding position, what are you allowed to do?
Jump vertically, up and down.
Straight up.
You can do anything except move toward the player, right? You can go backwards. You can go laterally. You can jump up in the air within your vertical space, and you're still considered legal guarding, which I thought he did here. He went straight up and straight down and actually went backwards due to the contact. So I think this is a clear verticality. I would call nothing. I don't think I would call a player control. Would anyone here call a player control foul?
No.
No.
I don't think the contact's severe enough. Does that make sense?
That would be the only call to make, though, if their call was made.
If you call something, yeah, I agree. How about this one?
Acting.
Did he even come close? Didn't even come close. Where did that foul come from? Who called it?
Behind the play.
The trail, who is the furthest away. He's not even in the spot he's supposed to be. if you're going to call that, you better at least be there in the play. Because that was, in my opinion, total Hollywood actor.
Agreed.
I think he even pushed off a 5 to give him a little bit of a more realistic look. Don't guess. Just because it looks bad and the coach is yelling at you doesn't mean it's a foul. I think a lot of guys call fouls because they don't want to get yelled at by the coach. I don't know. Maybe not. All right. I want to show you a few player control fouls that aren't block charge. I've been seeing a lot of this. I've got a few of these just from a couple games. They're running side by side, but he totally shoved them off. You could say, well, he didn't really gain an advantage because he pulled up. No, but the next time he might. A guy can't just shove another guy. Same dribbler. Side by side, what does he do? Get off of me. Okay? It doesn't have to be I'm coming to you and I plow you over. If you use your arm to control the guy who's defending you, that's a player control foul. You got to get that, especially as soon as you see it. Otherwise, that's just going to get worse and worse. And then in the fourth quarter with 2 minutes to go and it's a 3-point ball game, that's going to get bad because the guy's been doing it all game. Same dribbler right here. This one's up in his face. Guys, that's unacceptable. We got to get that. All right, let me play this again. In real time, a lot of guys call this a block because the guy's dribbling up and he gets bumped by the defender. So it's a block. You got to let the dribbler, freedom of movement, right? But again, with legal guarding position, what do you have to do? After you've established a legal guarding position, what can you do? Backwards, sideways. You just can't go toward the player, correct? Everyone's agreement? Let's watch this. What happens here? He has a legal guarding position. Here's our little diagram. Does he go forward or does he go lateral? He goes laterally backward. That was totally initiated by the offense, and he got a foul for it. That's illegal contact on the dribbler. So it's either a no call or it's a player control foul, in my humble opinion. Maybe my not so humble opinion. Anybody see anything different on that? When it's live, I think 90% of guys call that a block, but it's not. And I know it's easier to break it down and slow it down and watch it over. Does everybody see what I see, or am I seeing it differently?
I think the problem is that he's crossing over his hip. And that kind of changes his angle. Because he's crossing over, he's bringing his left hip over. I would agree with you if he shuffles to his right, but he's bringing that hip over. I think that's what makes it illegal. That's what makes it a block.
Am I allowed, after I establish a legal guarding position, can I turn and put my back to my defender? Anyone? Yes.
Yes.
Yes, you can. You do not even have to continue facing your opponent. So by turning my hip should have no bearing as to whether I still have legal guarding position. I'm allowed to turn. He's turning his hips because he wants to run in that direction.
But technically, to turn his hips have to come forward.
Well, I disagree. I say these legs, even when he turns, it's going backwards. It's not even going forward. Now, I could see you by you saying that, well, maybe it's coming into him because he's turning his hip into him. I can understand that,
It looks like he's trying to cut him off.
which is okay.
Okay.
A dribbler, you do not have to give a dribbler time or distance when it comes to who gets to the spot first. A moving player without the ball, you need to give time and distance to be able to get around you. But if you are dribbling the ball, I don't know how many people here do football. It's kind of like when you're the runner with a football, you need to expect to get hit. So you can really get hit in just about any way to be tackled. When you don't have the football, you can't get hit in the back, you can't get hit in the legs, because when you don't have the football, you're not expecting to get hit. Same in basketball. If you've got the ball and you're dribbling, you know which way you're going. You have the ability to go backward, forward, because you're dribbling the ball. So if you're dribbling towards an opponent, it is more on the dribbler. And if you call a block here, guys, you're like 90% of officials, maybe more. I think this block is called all the time. And it's pretty close, so I'm not going to tell you you're right or wrong. I personally think it's either a no call or a player control. All right, I don't want to belabor the fact.
Okay.
All right, let's see. Let me give you one more of these. That's an easy one, I think. Right? That one's a little more discernible.
Charge.
And not only did he push him off, but he created the space in order to get his shot off. Right?
Yes. Yes.
All right. Let me do a few more, and then does anyone else that came on late have anything they want to talk about? Oh, let's do some hand checks. Hand checks are I think terribly important to a game. I think if you only have one or two in a game, get them in that first quarter so everyone knows we're calling hand checks tonight. And I guarantee you're not going to have many problems with hands on players because they're going to know. I have yet to be yelled at by a coach in the last couple of years when I call a hand check, because ever since, what was it, 5 years ago? Has it been that long where they cracked down on us? So hand checks are terribly important. Now this one, what do you guys see on that one? Should I play it again?
The offensive guy sticking his arm out a little bit. It's hard to tell because we got a bad angle.
It is a bad angle, and it's not a great video. But I agree with you, Mike, that a hand check was called on Black, but under further review, it looks like White almost shoved him in the neck. So that's got to be called a player control. If he shoved him. Now, can a player hold his arm up while he's dribbling to protect himself or just because that's his motion?
Yes.
Yes. Even if he runs into the defender with that arm, that's nothing, right? Unless he extends the arm to create space. Hard to tell in this clip, but I think he may have.
Wouldn't that be the trailer's call?
Yeah, the trail probably should get that. In fact, the lead, I don't know why the lead's looking up there because that's not really his area. I know why he's looking up there. There's nothing going on here. That's why. There's nothing in the paint, so he's probably looking up thinking, all right, I'm going to see the action of the ball coming down. It's in transition. But, yeah, I think that's the trail. The trail should probably get first crack at that. All right, let's check this one out. All right, so we get two hands on the dribbler. That's automatic, right?
Automatic.
Do we hold our whistle for a second? Because if we did, what would have happened?
Charge.
Totally barreled into the guy, right? Unfortunately, you can't hold off on one and check to see what might happen after. 2 hands on the dribbler, boot. You got to get that automatic. Because if you don't, they're going to turn into a push and not even a hand check. This kid likes to touch him a lot. Right? We all agree. He's reaching out with 2 hands, right?
Yes.
Let's get that early. Let's get that early. All right, last one. All right, now some might say he's all the way up here, not much of an advantage gained, and he might have even gotten around him to get to a bucket, right? But again, this is the end of the second quarter. In my opinion, 2 hands on the dribbler, automatic. You got to get it. It doesn't happen very often, at least not in my games. All right.
And would you say this is at all levels, not just high school?
I would say absolutely all levels. Absolutely. 2 hands, automatic. The hand checks. Now, I'm going to say this with reservation. If you're working a freshman A game and number 5 has a 2-hand check foul, and then 30 seconds later they have a 2-hand check foul, and then 30 seconds, so you can see the kid clearly doesn't get it, you might want to say something to the coach. And then maybe you want to adjust and maybe not call it if he's not gaining an advantage, because, I don't know, at least the way I called freshman games, we wanted the kids to learn, right? So maybe you can pass in a freshman game so the kid can learn to play the others. But I don't know. If he's going to continue to do it, I would say still can call it. And then he'll sit on the bench and he'll learn not to do it. So I don't know. Anyone have any opinion on that? I just spoke out of both sides of my mouth. I didn't give you any clear answer on that. I would say
I took it as focus on not so much the lower levels probably, and then a little more often at the higher levels.
Yeah, I would call it on the lower level unless you think the kid just can't grasp what's going on. But the first one, get. Because he might very well get it. Talk to the coach, though. Always talk to the coach. Let him know, hey, coach, your kid keeps touching him with 2 hands. That's an automatic foul. He'd be sitting on the bench right now if I didn't pass on all those. Coach should take care of it. All right, anyone have any other questions? Anything they want to go over?
Appreciate you doing this. Thank you.
Yeah, this is great.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it also. Thank you.
I hope it was somewhat useful.
Yes.
What is the next one?
Well, the next one I'm probably going to do in January. I will probably send out all to the same list of guys in the AOS, obviously. I hopefully will have more videos. If anyone has a video clip or if they have a video of a whole game and you want to send it to me to clip up for you, I'm more than happy to do it. Unless you're afraid of me taking a clip you're in and showing people you missing a call. Well, I got plenty of my own missing, so it's not that big a deal. And as you can see on most of these videos, you can't really tell who is who. Some guys you can. We all keep it to ourselves because, you know, it's not about making someone look bad or feel bad. It's about let's look at the play so we can see what's going on. But by all means, email me or tell me how I can get a hold of a video that you want me to see or share or what have it. And I would love to clip it up, and I can send you the clips if you want that too.
Cool.
All right, guys.
Thank you very much.
A little over 30 minutes, so sorry I kept you for so long, but I will send out an
Perfect.
email next month, all right?
Excellent.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Everyone have a good rest of your season.
Yeah.
All right.
Happy holidays.
All right.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Take it easy.